Oh, uh,
There we go. I
okay,
was
so you made
clicking
it work.
around. I was clicking around and I accidentally clicked off of it. I'm so
No,
sorry.
that's okay. Well, you finally been able to join, so that's the thing. So that's the most important thing. So you made we were talking backstage about the fact that you were doing some kind of books for your diaries.
Yes, right here on my
I
desk.
can't believe that it looks like that. I mean, I tried once and it looked like shit.
Oh no.
Yeah. So, I mean, I have a theory
Uh-huh.
that my Froggy stuff is actually a witch and she's practicing witchcraft. None of the things that she's creating on her channel is working for me.
You know what? I can subscribe to that because there's some things that Toya makes that is just ridiculous and shouldn't work,
Mhm.
but it really does.
See, I'm telling you, I mean, she's been a witch for 10 years and now she's mastering her witchcraft. That's the thing. And we have to call her out for that.
I think so.
um, so let's begin because we have 1 hour and there is a lot of things that I wanted to talk about.
Sure.
First thing first, I wanted to say that in case for those who want to participate and don't want to show their face, we can manage to do that. That's a solution. Just wanted to pointing that out. And also, I wanted to talk about the events that you've made recently
Mhm.
about the birthday party.
Yeah. So we can go ahead and get into that.
Yeah, let's jump into
Oh,
it. No transition
okay.
needed.
Absolutely. So, I have learned something about myself when it came to this birthday party, and I mean, I already knew this about myself. I'm like a professional procrastinator. Like, it's just part of my DNA at this
Yeah,
point.
I think we can all relate
And
to that.
oh my gosh, and I couldn't get out of this like slump because I live in the Midwest in the US,
Okay.
and it's just like spring started and it's just been gloomy and
Oh
rainy and all of this,
no.
and that really kind of
Feel
puts
the
my
good.
moods into a funk.
Yeah.
And so I wasn't motivated to really do anything.
But I think that's something
So
we can all relate to. I mean, like it's
yes.
been since November. I have to force myself to create things, to do something. Like I just don't have the energy to do it, you know?
I know. Oh, it's so hard during the winter. I used to think, like, as a teenager, even as a young adult, when people were talking about, like, oh, the winter blues and stuff like that,
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, boomer. But now,
Who's
I,
laughing now?
right? And now I'm just like, oh my gosh, it is really a thing. I've just been in such a funk because even over winter break, like, I just wanted to make new dioramas and I wanted to do this and that, and,
Yeah.
like, I barely did anything. I just couldn't.
I feel you. Like honestly, I think a lot of people can relate to that. I
Yeah,
think there is a lot of people who have been through that. So
absolutely.
about the event,
Yeah.
let's stop our ADHD for a moment and focus.
I know. So it wasn't what I wanted it to be. I wanted
Oh
it to
no.
be a lot bigger with different stories and stuff, but like I did the best that I could with the energy and the like everything that was just going on for me emotionally. I did the
Mm,
best that I could, which was why like my last like birthday post or something instead of being on Sunday was like on a Tuesday or a Wednesday. I was like,
yeah,
you know what? It's my party. I'll post when I want
sure.
to. So I posted the last one, but like I kind of put myself in a hole because I made my doll family so huge. And I was like, I want everybody to be there. And I was like, oh my God, the amount of outfits that I have to make. And I was like, you know what? I said not everybody has to have animal print.
Sure.
You can't come in just pink or green or blue. And I've got those colors for everybody. So at this point, I'm just dressing everybody in a color
But
and just bringing them to
but
the
even
party.
if when you organize a party in real life, there is always going to be someone who is not, dressing up for the occasion and who is not, following
Yes.
the theme. So, that can add a little more
Absolutely.
texture to the character.
does, but I'm that mom that, like, for my daughter's birthday parties that I throw in real life, I dress with the theme. Like I had for her 5th birthday, I think it was, we had a mermaid theme. I had a shirt that said Mermaid Mama.
Oh
I had
wow.
fishtail, like, sparkly colored leggings that I got on Amazon. I had a blue ombre mermaid wig. Like, I am
Okay.
extra and I own it.
Well, this is kind
Um,
of the sentence that goes like, "Go hard or go home."
exactly. I go hard. I love to dress up. With Halloween, I always dress up with her and match, except last year because she wanted to be a super kitty, and I was like, I'm going as Reputation Taylor. So,
You could be
um,
going as
but
Catwoman, you know?
I mean, I could have, yes, but I don't think I didn't want to see myself in a onesie. So just.
The-
But yeah, the party didn't go exactly how I wanted, but like now I know for the future, I've learned about myself. Before I even announce an event, I really need to have like all my ducks in a row. The decorations that I want to do, the outfits I want to do, and then I can announce it, because if I wait and to announce something and then start working on it, I'm not going to get it done.
You just answered 2 questions that I have wrote in, but thank you.
I'm so sorry.
But first things first, what made you like in the mood to create an event, to do an event? What was the like? It's not just something that's going on the story. You wanted to for people to participate, and what got you into doing that?
So my daughter's actual birthday is coming up on Friday,
Okay.
and since in my doll world I have two
Hmm.
daughters, I was like, well, my real life daughter, her birthday is 4/4, so I'll just make my other fake daughter's birthday 3/3,
Oh no.
and so that way it's both like kind of in the springish time, and then I'll just do a combined birthday party. And
Oh.
my daughter first did want to really have a Wild Kratts birthday party, but she's going with Lion King instead. And I was like, you know what? It's still about animals,
Yeah.
so we'll just do animal theme.
Smart. But what was the plan to? What got you motivated to open it for people to participate? That's something.
I I just love when people engage, you
Yeah.
know, like I love dressing my dolls up. I used to try and do everything, and then
You can't.
Bella from Bella Bella Dolls was like, don't put that kind of pressure on you to try and go to
Yeah.
everything. And so since I kind of went through, there was like just nothing really going on Dollstagram, not really a lot of events that wasn't like the monthly themes that people do. And so I was like, I want to host an event, and I want people to be able to dress up, because I've seen so many people that
Mhm.
have animal print
Yeah.
clothing. So why not?
I think we all have one. Yeah, you mentioned that on the podcast of Wanda, Living Plastic Stories, and you mentioned that everybody have animal print, and I was like, no, I don't have one. And guess what? I have, and I realized that yeah, I have a shirt and I have a jacket. So yeah, I think maybe people do all have animal
I
printing.
I really do. Yeah, it's just like every time that I see something, people are pairing something with animal print, whether it's zebra or it's
Yeah,
cheetah, which are the most popular ones. But I was like, I feel like mostly everybody would be able to get animal print, but just in case they don't, that's why I also threw out or you can wear pink,
yeah,
blue, and green, because we all have to have something like
yeah.
that.
Blue jean.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, we all have that. Speaking of the event, what was the biggest fear that you had when you organized it?
That no one would
Yeah,
come.
yeah.
And nobody did anything. Because I made it a whole weekend event, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and nobody was tagging me on Friday and Saturday.
Oh
And so on
shit.
Sunday, I woke up and I was like, nobody's coming to the event.
Oh
No one's
shit.
coming. And then, like, I had maybe up to 10 people, including
Yeah.
yourself, so I thank you, who did join. And I was like, oh, maybe everybody was just busy over the weekend in real life, so that's why they were like, Sunday's kind of the chill day, getting ready to go back
No,
to
I
the
don't
work
think it
week.
was because of that. I
So,
think it's because we have a saying in France that it goes like, you have the audience you deserve. And since you are the queen of procrastination, you had the audience who wait last minute to do the photos, you know?
You know what? That does make sense. But like, but
Because
I was so
we told
grateful
the little behind the scene. I
yeah.
did the photos. I wanted to do an outdoor photo because I wanted to change something. And I had to go take the trash out. And I thought, oh, great. It's a great opportunity to go out and take the photos at the same time.
I know, I loved that. How you were just like, he's on his way, but like, can he find it? And I was like,
Yeah.
that is so clever. I love that.
So cool. I was really happy to join because you, as you mentioned, and I didn't realize that, but it's actually true that there were not that much event going on
Yeah.
from January from here.
Yeah.
There
There
was
really
not that much
wasn't.
stuff.
There was things for Valentine's Day, and then
Yeah.
like after that, it's just kind of like a lull until Easter.
Yeah, Easter there's gonna be like chocolate and all and hitting the eggs and all that stuff, and then we're gonna
Right.
wait for Mermaid and then Pride Month and then Summer Vibes and then Halloween and then Christmas Eve
Right.
and then
But during
nothing.
February and March, like there's really just nothing
Yeah,
going
that
on
is quite
like on
true.
Dolphin like consistently.
I
Yeah.
never actually realized that before, but well, we also have to say, and I don't want to talk about that, but just a little, quote unquote moment is that with everything going on Instagram in the world, I think that it's kind of killing a little bit the mood. So I'm
Oh my
guessing
God.
not having any events to kind of hold to something, yeah, it can be hard to just maintain, the mental
I
health.
absolutely agree. There's some profiles that I follow and stuff who used to be like all dolls and stuff like that. And like now they're posting about like the political climate of the world, which I pay attention to because I am a social studies teacher in
Yeah,
real life. And I care about politics. And I'm a very proud feminist. And Instagram has just changed,
yeah,
even on my Instagram account, because on my account, I have 3 Instagrams. On this account, I only follow dolls and
yeah,
creative things and like, doll, like people who sell to the Dollstagram
sure.
world. I only follow that here, but that the political climate has infiltrated this profile. And I'm like, it's just something that you can't
Uh,
ignore right now.
yeah, but it's kind of overwhelming, and somehow because
So
I
much.
just need like a safe bubble, a safe space, and my doll account is giving me that kind of safe space.
Yeah.
But I just yeah.
1000%. My doll account is my safe account where I can go and just kind of block out the rest of the world, because on all my personal accounts, I have really good friends. We're all very involved, like politically and stuff like that. And they're constantly sending me new things about what's going on and stuff like that. And I'm like, I'm overload right now. I just can't.
Yeah,
So I've been spending so much time on Dollstagram.
mood, 100% mood.
It
I think we
is.
all need that thing. Oh, and speaking of nothing related, it was the worst transition ever. But you made you have a doll account and you have a doll story talking about family stuff. And I was wondering about something because all the dolls are kind of connected to someone in real life.
Uh-huh.
And I wanted to know, how did the people react in your family when you came out as a doll collector?
I'm about to tear up. My sister and I had kind of a strained relationship for a couple of years. There was some drama, and we went like 3.5, almost 4 years without talking. And my
Wow.
sister and I grew up together. But we lost our mom, and that kind of brought us back
That's cool.
together. And when we came back together, I was already involved in Dollstagram. And so I told her about this. And am I allowed to cuss, or do you want to keep this PG?
You do whatever you want. Yeah, I say
Okay.
fuck a lot. I say fuck a lot of times, so
Okay.
I can't speak in English without saying
I
fuck.
swear like a sailor. So I showed her this, and she looked at me. And my sister is like kind of hard to impress,
Yeah.
But she looked at me and she goes, "That is the coolest fucking thing I've ever
You're
seen."
kidding.
And I was like, no. And she shows her work friends and her best friends about it.
No
She's like, look
shit.
what you're does. And like that made my heart like soar, that my sister, who thinks that most of the stuff I do is really nerdy and stuff, she says
Oh,
like
same.
it's such a creative outlet. It's so cool. I've included her as one of my actual doll
Yeah.
characters. And she's like, I love this so much. But I don't think that she gets to see it all that much because she has 2 kids and she's got a life and she works. But like, she follows it pretty much. And like, I will get her input like, hey, this is what I'm thinking that I want to do with your doll. What do you think? So
Oh
like,
my
I
God, this
kind
is so cool.
of, yeah, like I let her come up with the name of her husband and her children, and I was like, here's what I want to do with your future house because I want to expand my dioramas. And she was like, that is so fucking cool. I'm so game for it because we both love friends. And so I was like, I really want to do like a friends themed kitchen for your house.
Oh,
What do
that's
you think?
impressive. That's so cool.
And she was like, no, I would love that.
Oh
So
my God, this is so cool. Oh, this
yeah,
is really
absolutely.
truly amazing. Did that kind of answer a question that I always had in mind when I have someone who have sibling? Um, I always wonder if your sister was not your sister and you met her at a party, would you be friend with her?
I think that I would be kind of standoffish because my sister, she really is so hilarious, but she really has that kind of I'm a bitch, don't mess with me kind of
Yeah, I
vibe
love it.
until you get to know her. But because she's that person that either you love her or you hate her, there are some people that just like they don't care for her. But like if you know her, you love her. Like there's no in between with her. So I'm like, I think that she would be kind of funny, but like I don't know if she's also gonna like slice my throat with an insult. So I don't know if I want to really get close.
That's something I always wonder because I have 2 sisters, and older sister, I'm the last one, and I was thinking that one of them I will instantly be friend with her, and the other one, not sure.
Which one are you closest to? The youngest?
The one from the middle.
Okay,
she,
the middle one. Okay.
we had private jokes saying that she has been adopted. Like
Oh,
she is nothing like my older sister and me. She is nothing like it, like both of us. She is 100% like our mom, but she's nothing like we are.
oh my gosh, that's so funny. I used to tell my sister that she was adopted because she just, I don't even know why,
See?
honestly, because I think that between my mom, my sister, and I, we were just all so different that like now that when I look back on it, I'm like, that doesn't even make any sense. We're just all so different.
But we're just that just kids being kids, you know. We have to be mean at some point. That's the point of having
Absolutely.
siblings.
Oh, yeah, we went through years where we were throwing each other through the walls and through the door and stuff like that. And then we went to a family reunion and we went, like, we were kind of bored because we were teenagers hanging out with all these boomers and stuff. And so we went on a walk because it was outside during the summertime and we just had this click and it made us so close. Like we were talking about everything. Like you used to know me when you did this. Well, you used to know me when we did that. Well, let's get better about this and stuff. And then as a teenager, it became me and my sister versus our parents.
Oh, that's
And
cool.
it was I'm like I love my mom and like I was always kind of a mommy's girl, but like when one of us would get in trouble, the other sibling would come to their defense. So it was parents versus kids.
That's normally that's how it's supposed to work with siblings. You have to at some point reunite, you know, against the authority.
There you go.
Oh, speaking of childhood, I was thinking about something recently. How would you react if your kid goes to you saying that they have been talking with someone on the internet for like a couple years and they have an instant click and they talk like deep stuff, like, I don't know, deep emotions and things like that, and they never met them? How would you react?
I would not be shocked because here's a little thing about me. The first serious relationship that I was ever on or was ever in, and I'm American, was with an Englishman
Oh my
who
God.
lived in England. And we met playing Xbox through my best friend.
Oh my God.
So mommy can't really be a hypocrite.
Yeah, that's kind of true. But I was recently thinking about that because I'm talking to many people on Instagram about dolls, and some of them we have like a deep connection, and I never met them in real life. And I'm thinking that 20 years ago, you say that to your mom, and you definitely have no longer access to internet.
No, my mom freaked out when she knew because my ex-boyfriend, obviously, but he flew over to see me during Christmas
Oh,
break from school. And I didn't tell my mom that he was coming in because this was recorded from the internet. And when she found out that he was there, she flipped out. And I was like, Mom, we've been going out for like a year and a half. I know him.
make it worse.
Oh my God. Like, and we did communicate on cameras like webcams and stuff, and
Oh,
this was back in '05.
you saw him somehow.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Okay, so that's not kind of the same situation.
No, no, no. Yeah, this was back in '05 when like you couldn't AI and fake it, and like catfishing
Yeah.
wasn't necessarily a thing yet. Like you could fake who you were on the internet, but like not on webcam. So I was like, sorry, I just saw Mimi doll.
Yeah, I
Mimi
was
doll.
thinking that too. My mom would
My
have done
mom
the
would have told
same,
me,
Mimi.
trust
Don't
me,
worry.
my mom wanted to kill me. But I was 18, so I was like, you can't tell me what to do, even though I was
Yeah,
like,
that's how teens work.
yeah, yeah. So I mean, I wouldn't be surprised because like I literally did that when I was a teenager. But I see that, there's like a Paris doll meetup that people are wanting to do here soon, and then there's the Bella Dolls meetup that they're doing in Poland.
Yeah.
I'm like, I want to do that in the US, but damn, I feel this country is so huge that I'm just like, where is everybody?
But that's something that I always wonder about because I'm realizing more and more that I live, just a little context, I work in France and I live in Germany, so I live at the border. And I'm realizing that there is so many doll collector in Germany. And I'm thinking that
Yes.
in United States, it must be like way more people there doing doll photography and doing doll photo stories. And I'm always wondering, is it that expensive to get a flight ticket, let's say?
So when I flew to England way back in the day, it was like $1,200 for a round ticket, and with inflation, I can only imagine how
You
much it would be
got to
to
be
go
fucking kidding
international.
me.
But like even like within stateside, it's several $100s to be able to fly, and with everything that's going on with these
Yeah.
planes crashing and going down and malfunctioning, I am driving. But even if I wanted to, like I have no idea where like Mimi's Doll World is, but I would love to go and see her because like we've been talking behind the scenes just like
Yeah.
Mimi has, and I would love to see her. I know that there's other accounts and stuff that are over like on the West Coast or maybe they're down south like in Florida, and I'm like,
Florida?
that's like an
Mm.
18-hour drive minimum for me.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's so far.
That's crazy. I didn't realize that it could be this. Oh, she's from
Oh,
California.
she's in California. You know what? I have
That's
never been
why
to
I
the
like
Pacific.
her. Now I get it. I thought at first, let's just quote unquote moment, I thought that she was from Europe.
You know,
Because she's so nice. And I thought she must be European. She must be somewhere in Europe. I don't know where, but she must be in Europe. And now I'm thinking that, oh no, she's from California. It makes more sense.
it makes more sense. Sunny and beautiful out there, although they've got some
Oh
climate
my
issues.
God, yeah.
But
Speaking
yeah.
of your story, you decided to go for real life stories, and I was wondering because you played Xbox, so you kind of have a geek
Right.
background. You also like witchy stuff and supernatural shows, and I was wondering why didn't you go down that path for a story?
Down which path?
Well, supernatural stories.
Oh, I thought about it so much. Because I love Buffy and I love Charmed, but I'm like, I don't know how to make demons. Like, I know that with yours, I've seen yours, and like they do look realistic, but I've never made dolls or demons or something like that. So
Hmm.
I'm like, I would love to do something supernatural. I was even thinking about that last night. Like, I don't even have to do something big, but like maybe I can introduce like some cheerleaders because I'm gonna make I'm gonna make some of my like my quote doll nieces and nephews age up a little bit faster, so that way I can have a bit of diverse instead of them all being under 10 years
Yeah.
old. But like I would love for them to go like what I went through at 12 years old, thinking that I could really be a witch like the craft with light as a feather, stiff as a board, and changing my eye color and hair color and all that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, those seem easier to do, but I was like, God, I would love to do something like Buffy, but I don't know if I have the energy or time to
Uh,
want to make
it
that
takes
many demons.
it takes a lot of times. I wanted to do planning on doing a behind the scene on how I do my demons, like busting into dust and all that stuff. I was thinking of doing a behind the scene on how I do it, and I realized while I was recording that it's such a long process, and I never realized that before.
Right. And I'm just like, you almost have to, because I listened to your interview with Panic Pixie Dolls,
Yeah.
and she was talking about how like she will plan her stories like months ahead and stuff. And I just kind of do it on the fly. I do have some things that I'm planning to do in the
Yeah.
future, but like it's not going to be something necessarily where I have to plan things out. It's just storylines that I've watched in TV shows that I love, or I've seen in a couple doll stories that I'm like, ooh, if I tweak that, I can kind of make that mine. But like I'm kind of just playing by ear, which is why I feel like my creativity has fallen flat, is because I don't actually have any idea where I'm going with everything, except I know who I want to be
Yeah.
together and a couple life events. But like other than that, everything is wide open, which should feel
That's funny.
free, but it feels scary because I'm like, what am I going to do in the meantime until all that happens?
That's okay.
So I feel like I need to plan a little more.
But that's funny because what you're saying, you're actually putting words on things that I have been through, because I always start stories and I go straight to the point that I wanted to make, and then I stop and move on to another story and create a new account and that kind of stuff. And you just put words on things, like you don't plan in advance many events and like, what do you call it in English? But the red things, I don't know what's the word in English, fuck's sake. Oh God. Like a main
Red thing.
storyline and you have side quests.
Oh yeah. Like the plot.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's funny because you don't organize and plan stuff in advance when you are like going on set, let's say, with your dolls and planning the stories. You go with the flow.
Right. And I feel like that is easier for someone who is very creative. And I just don't think that I'm all that creative. Like I feel like I don't know. I feel like I'm always like oh yeah, I'm a storyteller and I'm doing this and all that kinds of stuff. And then I struggle because I'm like, does that make sense? Am I doing too much? Am I putting too much of myself into these characters and not making them difficult or different than myself? And so I feel like sometimes it's a little bland. So
Yeah, I got the feeling.
I'm kind of struggling with it right now.
Yeah, I kind of get the feeling that one of the story that I would love to create is kind of sort of inspired of road trip, buddy movies, that kind of stuff. Like Little Miss Sunshine, when you just get into a
Yeah.
car and you get somewhere, and that's the kind of stories that I always wanted to do. But you have to build the dioramas, you have to build all the stuff to make it look like it's happening in real life, and that's always kept me down. And I just think like, man, not gonna happen then. But speaking of creativity, that being said, in my opinion, it's kind of like a muscle. You have to work on it and
Right.
train on it to make it better.
Absolutely, you do. And that's why, like, some of my dioramas, like, they kind of suck. And then when I showed you this picture, and I literally started it less than 24 hours ago, and you were like, seriously? I was like, you know what?
That's
This actually looks pretty amazing. I should be so proud of myself because I feel like my house dioramas are pretty bland. I don't have all that much decorations, but I was like,
fucking
little
kidding me?
office space. Yeah, I feel like sometimes they're kind of bland, but like with this office space that I made, I am so proud of it. I'm so happy
Because
with it.
it is amazingly detailed. You have so many stuff going on with the diorama. It's just really, you even put a calendar on it. You know what I
I
mean?
did. I was like, so I'll show you a little bit of it. So I wanted to have like a little window, and so
Yeah.
I got this from Lena oh my God, it's on Patreon, and I'll tag her in the thing, but like I got a lot of these printables from there, and I've got the Bella Dolls calendar. This is also from Lena because I'm a Patreon there, and I've got Taylor.
Of course.
So and so I made these kind of like into canvases, and those are just like paintings. And then I've also got play for scale things back there. And like, you know, I bought this little computer with the keyboard and the mouse from Amazon. And so, and it's Sunday, so I've got coffee and a phone, and I've got my so
That's
I was
really
like,
cool.
I am so proud of this space because I feel like I did really, really well with it.
Thank God. Finally, she is admitting it. Oh, Lord.
I look at other people's dioramas and stuff like San Francisco Barbie, and I'm just like, oh my God, that is gorgeous. How does she do this? Mine looks so stupid. And so this is the first one that like I'm gonna be so proud to put on Instagram. Thank you, Mimi's Doll World.
Yes. Tell her because apparently she didn't know that before. But
Yes,
speaking
I
of, you
think
only have Mattel Barbie doll in your collection. Is
yes.
it like a political statement or?
No, I don't know why, but I'm just not into the other Barbies, or the other dolls, like the Rainbow High dolls and stuff.
No,
Like
that I can understand.
I don't understand why, but like the regular Mattel Barbies, they look like humans and they're just my favorite. Like I feel bad because there are some profiles that like the pictures look gorgeous and they are beautiful photographers, but it's not like they don't do anything Barbie. And I'm like, I'm just not interested in seeing that because I love Barbie dolls. If people have a mix of those kind of dolls and Barbie dolls, I'll follow. But like if it's all Rainbow High or it's all what is it, like the vampire ones, those weird ones, I don't know, but
Living
I'm
Death
like,
dolls?
yes, I'm just
Oh
like,
no, no, no,
I'm
no, no,
not
no. The
into
Monster High.
Monster High, that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not into them. I don't know why. They're so cute, but I would much rather have Mattel dolls.
But I think it's also because I kind of have some difficulties nowadays to just follow doll photographers if there is no stories in it. And I feel like the Monster
Yes.
High and more specifically Rainbow High and Bratz doesn't have that much storyteller in this community.
No, they really don't. And I'm struggling with that too because I'm not even kidding when I say probably four different profiles that I've followed since before I even started my profile.
Mm.
I followed from my personal one, when I found the Doll World in like 2022. And those, like four of those profiles that had constant storylines and they were constantly being involved in events and stuff like that, they haven't posted in like over a
Oh
year.
God.
And I'm like, those are like four people who I was like kind of Instagram doll friends with, and like they're just gone. And so I've tried to find more storyline
Yeah.
profiles, which is why, like, you know, with Mimi's Doll World, I was like, oh my God, you're going to have storylines? And she's like, yes, I'm working on it. It's
I
hopefully going to be in
can't
June.
wait.
Yeah, it's something I can look forward to. And then there's another one that just started who's got like a whole like 90s theme going on. I can't remember the handle, but she's got storyline going on with like all these different dolls, and all her girls are like petite
Oh,
dolls. And I
it's
was like, okay,
Mora.
yes, there you go.
Yeah,
And
I
I was like,
love her
yes,
story. Oh my God, it's
I
so
was,
cool.
I'm kind of getting into her stories. This is
Uh,
amazing.
uh,
But like, I just want doll story accounts. That's
right?
all I want. Like, I love her photography and it's so pretty, but give me a storyline. And
Oh my
Stars
God,
Dolls,
I agree.
Cordelia, forget about it.
Oh yeah.
She literally has almost 2,000 posts because she will post like 5 times a day.
I honestly took the train
And
in the process. I didn't go back that far, to be honest.
I let me tell you, I went
Oh
back
my God.
to the beginning. I spent more than a week going back to read all of her stories, to look at all of her pictures, and I was obsessed. I even went onto her blog to read her spicy stories, and let me tell you,
Oh, she have a blog?
oh yeah, she has a
Oh,
blog
that
of
would be
the
that would make much more losing my words. That would be more easier. I remember that Pixie Dolls have like a
yes,
lot of episode, and if she didn't had a blog, I probably wouldn't go that far. And because of the blog, I could have access to the episode in 2 clicks, and that was just perfect.
exactly. So I feel like like people on Instagram, they're kind of like doing blogs and Instagram, which I'm fine with. But like when some of them have moved to like just YouTube or just TikTok or just blogs, like I kind of lose them because
Yeah,
I'm on Instagram the most out of all social
yeah,
media.
true.
But I'm like, give me all the storylines, all of them.
That I can relate to. Oh, speaking of stories, I was wondering about something. You did a recast on Live. How
Yes.
did it work? How did it happen, and why?
So, excuse me, wrong pipe.
Right.
So at the very beginning, when I started my account, I had the Girls Look doll, I think number 1.
Yep.
And I mean, she's gorgeous. I can't remember what her face name is. But I know in Stars Dolls, her name is Victoria. So I had that one. And I loved her, but I'm like, other than her, like, because I'm biracial, so other than her skin tone being similar to mine, she doesn't really look like me. And so I found this doll is like the environmental doll
Mm.
from like the set of 4, where one is a scientist, one is a reporter, etc. And
Oh,
I saw her face and I was like, oh, she looks more like me. So I got into I was dying to have her. So I finally found her on Mercari, and I was like, this is who I'm gonna have be Liv, because I feel like she resembles me the most. And then I was kind of wavering with this new Barbie basic
yeah, I
one,
was thinking
but I'm
about that, but I saw that you rebodied her in a regular body, and I hate that
I
word.
did. I did, because I was like, to be honest, my decision to not use her as the main character is kind of the other doll Instagrammers, because she's popped up on Instagram so
Yeah.
much, and so many other girls are now using her, or people are using her for their main character, that I was like, you know what? I want to have my own unique doll. Like, it's fine that a lot of people will use the Barbie Looks number 1
Mm.
because she's so gorgeous, but I want a different doll to be my main
Oh,
character,
girl,
someone who
mood.
is specific to me.
Oh, that I can understand. But I mean, how did you made it happen in the story? Like you just said that she woke up and she was different. How did it work?
I just kind of took a page out of some of the other Dollstagrammers, where I just posted the new Liv, and then at the bottom I just kind of made a little thing that was like, this is the new Liv now. Um, so like, because I know Cordelia on Stars Dolls, she has done that a lot. She has as she says it, recasted.
Yeah.
She has recasted a lot of her dolls, and I was just like, you know what? Like, I just now saw Cordelia, but other people have been doing that for so long. So I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna make a little point down there that is like, this is the new Liv, just so everybody knows. And I do plan to do like a new reintroduction, because I am planning to rebody a couple of them. Like I said, I'm gonna make some of them age up to where they're the like petite dolls, like
Yeah.
preteens and stuff. So once I get everybody set how I want, I'm gonna do like a whole like big green doll family like picture and stuff like that in introductions.
Cool. But
Yeah.
I mean, how is it gonna work? Because you actually, the kids that you have in your stories grew up one
Yeah.
night and you rebodied. And
That was kind of that. I literally I think, oh my gosh, what is her she sells food now, Hannah, I think it is. I can't remember what her storyline is, but she's got like the Hannah doll who loves bananas. She loves the color yellow. And I think she did that a long time ago with her daughter, but like her daughter went from like a baby to a full grown adult in like 6 months. She was like, I'm over this. So I was like, you know what? That's kind of funny to have like the magic of a child growing up in their sleep overnight.
Yeah.
And since my real life daughter is going to be 8 and I'm going to be getting her, like making her a new doll, I've already rerouted her and I was trying to make her skin tone the same, but I can't find any dolls that are that similar. So I'm just going to do the same thing where she goes to bed one doll and she wakes up and she's a whole different doll. I just kind of love that.
You're not even going to do like a black screen and saying few years later.
Right, but like I want her to age naturally, so like one night she's 7, the next night she's 8, and like when kids ask about it, like how is it that I grew like 2 feet overnight, Mom?
I mean,
that's
I
just how
feel like for parents it feels like that. I mean, I have nephews, and sometimes it just feels like within a night they grew up instantly. You know, you don't see them grow.
You know what? It really can happen where sometimes it just seems like kids sprout up like 6 inches for something overnight. So I feel like that's a good way to do
it.
Okay. Sorry, dealing with the munchkin.
Mom job.
Yeah.
Speaking of dolls, I wanted to know also, have you ever had to deal with the fear of missing out?
Oh my gosh, so much.
Great.
Yes, I feel all the time that I miss out on things. Especially, I went through this period because I am a teacher in real life, and for the last 3 years, I have taught one subject, just one subject. And so last year, my boss actually gave me a second subject to teach, which is what they do with most teachers in the U.S. Most teachers teach like at least 2 different subjects.
Okay.
So when I got the second subject, I know it, but like I don't know all of the in-depth details that I need to be able to be an expert to teach it to my kids. So this year I've had to essentially read everything, do all the answer keys and stuff like that. And so I think literally from like July until September last year on Instagram, I didn't post and barely looked at anything. And I feel like I missed out on so much, and I feel like lots of accounts probably unfollowed me, or like it changed my Instagram algorithm so much that I was getting like about 40 likes per picture. And now I'm down to like, if I reach 20, it's a good day.
Oh, girl, good.
Yeah, so I feel like I missed out on a lot last year because I was just so overwhelmed with work. But now I'm to the point where it's almost like the end of the year, and I'm like, I don't care. But luckily, I'm going to be teaching the same 2 subjects next year, so I'm like, I'm going to be golden next year because I'm already set up. But yeah, I feel like I kind of got left out a lot. There was a lot of things that were going on, especially around fall and Halloween and stuff, and I was just like, I can't. So
next year you're gonna be bigger.
Right.
Speaking of like having more time, say that I just start doll photography and doll dioramas. What will be the dioramas that you think it's a must-have?
Like for a new person or for
a new
me?
person?
A new person. I honestly think you need to have a space that can evolve. Something that maybe, because I've seen this on like Bella dolls, she will have like one wall, but she will put up that wall or like that little scene, but you can make it whatever you want to be. Like it could be the inside of your living room, or it could be a restaurant, or it could be a shop or something like that. So something that is, I can't think of the word right now, but something that can transform to be something different.
I have a friend who's
a couple scene changes, to be able to transition instead of just sticking with like one full scene. Like I did like a living room first or something, and I was like, really, everything is going to happen in the living room of band. So yeah, something that can be transformed and moved into a couple different scenes, so you don't feel stuck.
But I just feel like, I mean, I have a friend who is doing this, he have just, plain walls, and he can manage to just move around, and he used the same furniture but placed them differently with the different walls, and he creates a new room. And I just feel like, how can he do that? If I do that, I will always feel like, okay, this wall is actually for one specific room, so I have to create another wall. Otherwise, it's not
Right.
going to work.
I feel just like you. I'm like, how can I use this space for another thing? Everybody's going to
See?
know this is X, Y, and Z. And like through the one thing that I learned, because I learned a lot through Cordelia, bless her. Um, One thing that I learned for her, I'm assuming lives in like an apartment or something, and she will use like her little windowsill area for almost everything,
How did
but
he do
she
that?
changes the furniture, or like she'll move the scenery around and add new pictures, and like it doesn't, and her storylines are so good that like you just don't even think about it. You're just like, okay,
Exactly.
absolutely, I'm in the Wyndham Mansion, and then all of a sudden she puts a little bit of greenery and stuff like that, and we're like, yes, we're outside at the park,
See?
even though that's the same window view that I just saw at the Wyndham Mansion. You buy
Ah,
it.
fuck. But
um
that's the thing.
and I'm like, I need to stop putting so much pressure on myself
Oh,
that like
oh yeah,
followers and fans and stuff are going to be like, but you use that for Liv's office. So why am I supposed to believe that this is this, you know?
exactly. But
Yeah.
I saw that. I don't know if you know her page, Medea from Dark Shadow.
Yes.
She only used painted back wall,
That's
and I'm
insane.
like, I'm just believing it's an actual room with depth and details and all that stuff, when it's actually just a flat cardboard painted. And I'm just, like, my mind is blowing when I just have to, like, place a little bottle in an office for my photos that no one is going to see. But I
Right.
need this bottle on the office.
Right? Like it's just so perfect. It has to be so perfect
Oh
because
God.
we think that everybody is going to notice every tiny little minute detail.
We
Like
don't.
for me, I was freaking out because like my little water bottle is like on the wrong side of the desk, and my pencil that's back there on the desk, it's way too long for a Barbie. It's like two pencils in one, like one of those extended pencils. You can't even tell because of the way that it's placed. So it doesn't even
That is
matter what
true.
size it is.
But that's
People are
something
just
that
gonna
I
be
will
like,
be just focused on, and being like, for example, I got the I Live Forever furniture pack, and there is a pen inside of it. It's beautiful, but it has like this kind of molded chain, and I'm feeling like it's
oh,
molded, so it doesn't look realistic. So I can not use it.
right. Oh my
It's so
goodness.
ridiculous. Oh my God.
Yeah, Mimi said it. We're literally our own worst critics when it comes to being artists. Like, because
Definitely.
what we do is creative. It is art. And we're so hard on ourselves, honestly. And if you just
Definitely.
take a step back and you focus on the storyline, or you focus on the photography of it,
Yeah.
and just like telling that story, 9 times out of 10, chances are people are not going to care that you use that room for every single scene and just make it a
Mhm.
tiny difference.
Oh yeah. People will not even notice. I mean, I'm reading a lot of stories, and I'm never gonna notice anything like that. I'm focusing on the character building, on the stories, and how the movement is
Yeah,
created. The only thing that will be maybe taking me off a picture is how the doll is posing. If it's not natural, I will be just, out of it.
right. Like if her arm is like
Yeah.
twisted a little bit too much and stuff,
No.
I'm like, oh, that looks
Yeah.
painful.
No, no,
So
no, no,
I'll,
no.
I'll typically like practice my arms and stuff like that. Like her elbows aren't turned too much around, right? Like,
That will be just
yeah,
taking me out of the stories. Oh, speaking of
right.
photography, how comfortable are you doing photography outdoor in public?
I am getting better about it. I'm
Oh,
trying to come out more as a doll photographer. So, my daughter's in Girl Scouts. Do you guys have that in France, or do you know what that is?
what is it?
Girl Scouts.
Oh yeah, the Scouts, the one who's
Oh
selling
yeah.
chocolate.
Yes. So my daughter does that, and she had a meeting like last week, and I really needed to reroute a doll, and so I brought it with me to this to this room of other parents and other kids, and like one of the girls who's close to my daughter comes up to me, and she was like, "Why is your Barbie bald?" And I was like, "Because I'm giving her new hair," and she was like, "You can do that?" So like,
so cute.
yeah, so I'm trying to get a little bit more comfortable with it, with like coming out as a doll photographer, because it's so fun and there's so many beautiful scenes actually out in public. But like in the past, I have like, you know, kind of gone behind a bush or something like that to like take a picture, because people are gonna think I'm so weird taking a picture of my Barbie photos and stuff. But like I just remind myself of how my sister saw my creativity and saw this, and I'm like, they actually would probably think like it's not for me, but that's kind of cool.
That's actually kind of a mood booster to know that your sister kind of not only approve it, but is like totally into it somehow, you know?
Oh, so much. This is the only time that I've ever felt cool in my little sister's eyes. I feel amazing.
That's so cute. Okay, well, I think I have to let you go because Instagram is only allowing for 1 hour.
Okay.
But that being said, I only have one last question.
Sure.
Did you go to your prom when you were in high school?
I did. Yes.
That's okay.
I did. And this is gonna sound horrible, but let me explain. I went to both junior and senior year prom. My junior year I felt was the most fun.
Oh.
The music was amazing. I went with my girlies. But that being said, my senior year, my out of the country English boyfriend flew into town for prom. My mom actually helped pay for his ticket, let him stay with us, because from the time of Christmas break until prom, which was in the springtime, my mom actually got to know him and get to know his mom and everything. So she became cool with him, and so he came into the country to take me to prom and stayed for a couple of weeks.
Shut up.
And so that was like a Cinderella story in itself, having your like, you know, very fancy European boyfriend come to prom with you.
Definitely.
But that being said, I felt like because I did have a date, like I had a little bit less fun because I needed to make sure that he was having fun.
Yeah, I get it.
But yeah, I loved going to my proms, and now as a teacher, I get to attend as a chaperone and still enjoy it.
Oh, and see if people are actually bringing alcohol or not.
Yeah, even back when I was in school, which was like 15 years ago, we had to be breathalyzed before we even went into the ball. Oh, 1,000%. I mean, hello, this is America. Yeah, we went through the breathalyzer. We had a long line before you could get in, and you had to blow into the breathalyzer, and they had enough for everybody. So like even before COVID, like we weren't sharing, but they had enough with the police officers and like the metal detectors and stuff that they were making sure we didn't bring in weapons, and none of us were done.
The fuck's sake.
Yeah, I know. Welcome to America. Yeah. It is a sequel.
Oh shit. One last thing that coming into my mind is that you were trying to get into polymer clay food. For those who didn't know, she talks about it on Living Plastic Stories. So I would like you to just listen to that. But how far did you go now?
I haven't even practiced.
You're fucking kidding me.
I know, I'm sorry. I will though. I'm going to try and do it. So I'm going to defend myself a little bit in that I did still work with resin food, like the mini Barbie Make It Minis. Yes, I'd never done that either. So I was working with that.
You're fucking kidding me. You live in the United States. You have access to all the miniverse. You what?
No. So I did the little Make It Mini. That was like all the food at the birthday party and stuff that I did. That was the Make It Mini stuff.
Yeah.
So I went to Walmart before the boycott, and I bought those and I made them. And you know what? I really don't like resin because it's messy.
Yeah.
So I feel like if I had gloves to protect me and stuff, like it wouldn't get on my hands, because once it got on my hands, things were sticking to it, and then I have cat hair everywhere and stuff. So I'm actually looking forward to messing with the polymer clay now, because I feel like it's going to be a lot less messy than the resin was.
Oh yeah. Definitely,
Yeah.
and less toxic too.
Yes, for sure. And it takes a lot less. Well, I had to wait until sunshine to put it out in the freaking window because I don't have a UV light. Um, yeah, I don't have a UV light, so I had to put it in my daughter's window for the sunlight to harden it, and that was another thing that was delaying my events because it
Oh
was
my
raining.
God. Because I really thought that since you were doing a birthday party, that you will make like a cake out of polymer clay, and you
I was
apparently did it.
planning on it, but then I found the Make It Mini birthdays, and I was like, I haven't worked with resin either, so I'll try
Yeah,
that.
true. And you already have like miniatures in them already built up, so it's kind of make it a little bit more easier.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, true.
I will
Well,
try it though.
I gotta let you go now.
Okay.
Thank you very much to participate. It was really cool.
You too. I loved getting to talk to you, and I'm sure I'll talk to you in our
Oh,
DMs also.
oh yeah. Yeah, I'm a
Okay.
hairdresser, so I like to talk a lot, so
Trust me, I could talk anyone's ear off. It's
that's
okay.
cool. Well, have a lovely day,
You
and
too.
well, hopefully we will see soon your more polymer clay food in the future.
Yeah, hopefully.
Have a sweet day, Liv.
You
Bye.
too. Bye.